My besties, I'm here to do a reading for you. This is going to be a channeled love message from your person on Valentine's Day. When I'm done this reading, I'm actually going to do a reading for you about a love reading for you about yourself, self-love, everything that's amazing about you. Because that's also important when you're dealing with these love situations, soul contracts, counterpart journey. It's important to love yourself instead of chasing love outside of you, finding the love within, very important. And the more you love yourself, the healthier love you call in. So I suggest watching that one too, if you feel called to. But this is going to be about the person on your mind. You're probably in no contact, and we're going to get some tarot. We're going to see how they're feeling about you and then get channeled messages. At the last moment, I intuitively felt called to grab a deck. And it's this one that I've been using, this intuitive oracle. And when I grabbed it, there was like a tower moment, and 3 cards from different decks fell onto my floor. And I felt like that was symbolic, right? I don't believe in accidents. So here are the cards that fell out from 2 different decks. The Tower. And what's interesting to me is we have a Phoenix here. So you could have been in a very unhealthy situation or an unstable connection where you actually kept getting burned and burned and burned. And there could have been like red flags. I always talk about the Tower, that there's signs that the tower is going to fall, but sometimes we ignore those signs, and then divine intervention, the tower falls. So we can either climb down, right? We can either climb down to safety, exit the tower, or we're thrown out of it, right? So you could have been burned many times by this person and then phoenixed. So phoenixing is when you liberate yourself from that type of situation, right? Maybe it's a lesson that you're meant to learn where you keep touching the fire, not learning the lesson, and then eventually you phoenix out of it. And I was picking up on phoenix energy. I actually had to wait to start this reading because I was as red as my shirt. Maybe that's symbolic that your person is phoenixing. But anyway, we have the Tower. So clearly this was an unstable connection. The ending could have been divine intervention. Could have been quite a painful or sudden ending, but mainly what I'm getting is that, in this image, this flower is like wilted. So I feel like there was no growth. You maybe weren't being fulfilled within this connection. Therefore, the Tower came down. And like I said, there's a phoenix there. So somebody's phoenixed, whether it's you, whether it's your person, or both of you. And then we had the King of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles fall on the floor. So what I'm hearing with this is you could have been dealing with someone who had they could have been neglecting this connection with the Knight of Pentacles. So you could have felt very neglected. And that's why I mentioned the love reading that I'm doing for you. Because if you're investing in a connection where someone is neglecting you, not seeing your worth, and you keep giving to it, in a way you're neglecting yourself, right? So I get the feeling that this person was neglecting you or wasn't focused on this connection. Maybe it's been a while since you've seen them. And then the King of Swords, you could have been dealing with someone very intellectual, very logical, who was, not opening up their heart. They could have had a fear of intimacy. There could have been hurtful words spoken. Maybe this person had a hard time taking accountability, right? And then this Tower happened. They could have been hurtful with their words. But I feel like whoever this is, they're also having a breakthrough moment. Swords down means there's no communication. But you see this king lifting up this sword, and it's illuminated. So the King of Swords does represent someone who has clarity about this situation. However, they're holding back emotionally. I am getting that they could have hurt you with their words, though. So those were the surprise cards we had. Ooh, I'm picking up on some anxiety. Maybe your person feeling anxious. You'd definitely be on their mind today with all the reminders of love around, right? So I am going to get a few of these just to see. Spirit wanted me to get this deck. So let's see what's happening here. This will give us an idea of your dynamic and how they're feeling. And also maybe a little bit about you, right? So we have crisis. This card keeps coming out. So clearly, I always get with this card that it was blocked for your highest good, even though maybe you were trying to work it out with this person. I feel like the Tower, divine intervention, it was blocked for your highest good. Clearly, things weren't going well with the crisis card. Oh no, my nose is running. Runner alert. Let's do one more shuffle. Nurturing. So you could have been dealing with someone. Remember I said the flower, the wilted flower. So you could have been dealing with someone who wasn't nurturing this connection. And even as I look at this image, it looks very dry, like someone wasn't watering it. You could have also been dealing with someone who, if you have really nurturing energy and they have a fear of intimacy, they could have really pushed you away, right? Protecting their heart space, King of Swords. Oh no, my right eye is twitching. What does that mean spiritually? And we have an awakening. So very possible that this person is having an awakening about you right now. You could also resonate with, through this connection, you went through your awakening, right? Runner, runner, runner. They could have been running from your spirit, like your intuition. I'm hearing your intuition scared me. I'm getting Phoenix energy. I'm feeling it. It's starting. You can see it's starting. Phoenix energy. Feminine energy. You could be a divine feminine. And especially like look at my eyes turning red, like I'm getting Phoenix energy. I told you. So you could have been, that's why I mentioned it's important that if you are, chasing love or looking for love outside of yourself, it's very important to turn within because that love is within you. But I feel like your nurturing feminine energy, they were intimidated by it. They could have self-sabotaged unconsciously. Holy smokes. Phoenix energy. You could be in this divine feminine energy right now, not chasing. Look at me. Look at my eyeballs. You know what? That happened to me during a video about wounding. And when I looked this up, I can't believe how red I'm getting. When I looked it up, it did mention unresolved like feelings underneath the surface when your eyes go red. I feel like I'm on fire. I honestly feel like I'm on fire right now. Whoa. I think you're definitely dealing with a divine masculine. Look at what just fell off the top of the deck. I've never even seen this card. Whoa. Sometimes Valentine's Day, birthdays, where there's, you feel called to reach out to them, but you don't, can affect them. Oh my gosh. I might have to pause it. Can you even see me? Am I blending in with my shirt? Whoa. All right, let's cut the deck, and my nose keeps running. I might have to pause it. That Phoenix energy is strong, and that's what I said right here. Phoenix. All right, let's cut the deck. Maybe there was a lot of passion between you, sexual attraction. So we have hobby and it's your time. Okay, so clearly you are not focused on this person. Maybe you're a painter or an artist, creative. But clearly, you're not focused on. What I was saying is they could be feeling like it's their time to step up right now. That's weird. My ears are popping. Does someone live at a high altitude? Have you flown recently? My ears are popping. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Phoenix energy dying down now. Whew. All right. What can you tell me about this before we get into channeled messages? All right. So this has been coming out a lot lately too. So maybe this is someone that you were friends with and it never elevated into like a commitment. It's possible that this person, I don't think you're talking to them. Maybe you are. Whoa. It feels like this person wants to build a bridge. And here you see like puzzle pieces. So it feels like there's still missing puzzle pieces here before this can come together. I feel like you're focusing on your happiness. Feminine energy. So you are a divine feminine. Focusing on your hobby, focusing on your mission, focusing on loving yourself. It's why I've been trying to do more readings about self, because I wasn't going to talk about this in this reading, but it's coming through. So that's why I've been trying to do more readings about self and healing, because especially if you're a divine feminine, as long as you stay in that longing energy and not healing yourself, not, focusing on yourself, loving yourself, and you stay in that energy of kind of longing for them, waiting for them to come back, just watching love readings, it can keep you stuck, right? And that's why I try and incorporate so much about healing in my readings, because on the divine counterpart journey, it's about you coming into union with yourself. And if you don't come into union with yourself, get going on your mission, you stay stuck, right? This connection will stay stuck. My eyeballs are still red. So especially for you, I think it's important that you watch that video about self-love, or go watch another, like you don't even have to watch me, watch other readers, and like focus on the non-love readings. I said to one of my clients the other day, one of the people I do personal readings for, that every time you watch a love reading, you should balance it with a reading about yourself, about healing, about non-love related things, because you're important too, right? You're the main character in your life, right? Imagine watching a movie. I said this in a reading once. Imagine watching a movie about your situation, right? Think about when you watch a movie and the main character is not seeing their value and they're investing in like think about, I can use Bridget Jones for an example, right? Like watching Bridget Jones, the way she invested in Daniel. And, you knew he was a slime ball and you were yelling at the TV, like, what is wrong with you, Bridget? Like, stop, he's a jerk. Think about stepping outside of yourself and looking at your situation. If this was a movie and you were watching it, what would you be yelling at the TV? What would you be saying to the main character? Because you are the main character of your life, not your counterpart, you. And that's, to me, what the counterpart journey is about. It's about coming home to yourself. It's about focusing on yourself, choosing yourself, healing. We have the truth. So someone is seeing the truth of the situation, King of Swords. And maybe it took you seeing the truth of the situation, right? I mentioned maybe you were ignoring red flags, or maybe you were, because you felt this strong bond with them, maybe you were putting up with less than you deserve, not seeing the truth. After the tower falls, that's when the clarity comes, healing, star. So possibly it took you seeing the truth and choosing yourself for them to see the truth. But your person is seeing the truth of this situation. Like, look at this. That King of Swords is picking up that Ace of Swords and having a moment of clarity, having a realization, an epiphany. So the more you search for the truth within yourself and you heal, the more they will. And we have heartbroken. So, I feel like you were heartbroken when this tower fell. Maybe you were heartbroken that they were neglecting you. And again, it's important not to stay in this, of course you have to go through, you can't suppress the emotions. Think of how my eyeballs went red. That spiritually represents suppressing emotions, suppressing anger. So it's important that you feel those things, right? Sometimes we have to tap into that anger that we feel from being mistreated or being ignored, because it gives us that Queen of Swords energy. But it's important not to stay angry forever, right? Don't let this person and the anger and the resentment that you have keep you stuck. So I feel like you were heartbroken when this tower ended, but through time, through healing, you started to see the truth of the situation. And I feel like now that's what this person is going through. They're missing you. They're feeling heartbroken. And we have longing. And what did I say about longing? So, it is something that divine feminines go through, or I should say feminine counterparts, before they evolve into the divine feminine. The longer you stay in longing and waiting, the longer your journey will be. And that's why it's so important to choose yourself and heal, right? And that's why I've been reading from that shadow book. That's why I incorporate healing into my readings, because that is such an important part of, the relationship you have with yourself matters, because it affects what you're calling in. And you shouldn't lower your standards, right? You should have high standards. You should love yourself enough. So I feel like you're getting out of this longing energy, and then the roles reverse. They go into longing, right? Once you phoenix out of feeling heartbroken and longing and missing them and thinking about them all the time and, watching love readings, it is okay to watch love readings. It's only too much of anything, though, is not good for you. So if you find yourself snowballing, watching love reading after love reading after love reading, it's time to balance that. And that's why I challenge you, every time you feel called to watch a love reading, maybe watch a separate reading just about yourself, about, there's lots of readers out there. And I've been trying to incorporate more. I have that Soul Tribe playlist. I have the Healing Wound playlist, and balance that. So for every love reading you watch, watch one about healing, watch one about your, a personal, not love related. Because the longer you stay in that heartbroken, longing energy, the longer it's going to take, especially if you're a divine feminine. And I say this with love, because I love you guys. I really do love you. When I think about it, I get emotional. So yeah, this person could be really missing you right now, your friendship. Okay, I just want to get two more. September 6th, June 9th could be symbolic. That was interesting. Hobby. So I tell people this all the time. Instead of longing and focusing on their counterpart, start focusing on your mission. Start focusing on creative things. Even if you don't know what that is, start experimenting. Try painting, try pottery, try dancing, try whatever you want. That is very healing in itself. So every time you feel that longing energy, this is supposed to be a channeled love reading. Every time you feel that longing, turn that inward And creativity, hang on. And when you focus on creativity, and I'm not saying it has to be painting. It's whatever you enjoy doing, whatever makes you lose sense of time, whatever lights your soul on fire, you enter into a flow state, okay? It also can be very therapeutic. So again, every time you find yourself in that longing energy, think, I'm longing for them. Wait a minute, my soul is calling for me to turn inward, okay? Because it gets you in that flow state and out of that longing energy. And especially if you're a divine feminine, you have a mission. Whatever lights your soul on fire. Anyway, Spirit, this is supposed to be about channeled messages, but Spirit's reminding me that especially if you're on the counterpart journey, it's not just about loving someone else, wanting someone else. It's about you. The Lover's card, right? The Lover's card isn't just about the bond you feel with another person. January 14th could be symbolic. It's not just the love you feel for the other person. It's about self-love and growth as well. So if you're longing for someone, that means your soul is longing to be looked at. Okay, I'm just going to get two more. Oh, there's actually a card. There is a card that came out that I didn't mention, hopeful. So I feel like your person is hopeful that they can mend these things. This could have been someone who kept secrets from you, because we have the secret. They could even have a secret. Remember how hot I got, right? This almost reminds me of like burning desire, like someone who keeps it hidden that they still feel something for you. Because this, to me, this card looks more about, like maybe they did keep secrets from you, right? But to me, this card almost looks like someone who still has this burning flame. And we have inner strength. So as this person, it's clear to me they're getting clarity. Again, it's funny because this was supposed to be just a channeled message, but it's turning into a strong message for you. And that's kind of what I meant. I'm not explaining it the right way, I don't think, but these love connections, soul contracts, it's not just about loving the other person. It's about what is it reflecting back to you. So really, I think you're standing in your inner strength right now. Ears are ringing. And I feel like it's affecting this person. You know, I feel like they still long for you, right? We had that longing card. I think that they still long for you. They still desire you. I'm hearing a song. What is it? Oh, I gotta go look it up. I'll look it up in a minute. I think it's something about Can't Stop That Flame. Celeste something. I'm gonna go look it up. Another thing I want to mention, especially if you're a counterpart, is when you light your soul spark on fire, it makes a difference energetically to the other person. I need to, it's Stop This Flame. Oh, here it is. No. Stop This Flame, Celeste. That's the song I was hearing. You'll never stop this flame. I will never let you go. All right. It's actually quite an upbeat song. I just don't want to mix in these tarot cards with this oracle deck. All right. So let's see. Do you know what I want to see? I want to get... I was intuitively guided to this deck. It's called Unsent Letters, and I think I've only used it once, twice. So I just want to see one at first so I can get an idea of, I'm hearing that this person might have an unsent message to you, or this is something that they've been thinking about, haven't said out loud. Now I'm hearing another song. Praying by Keisha. The answer I still can't give you. That they still care about you. I know you can't read it. The answer I still can't give you. I still care about you. What more could I ask for? At least you are happy. So from the outside looking in, you look happy to them. Telephone, wanting to communicate. Let's see what this person wants to say. The song. Oh yeah, there was definitely a sudden ending here. Failed relationship, brutal end. I wish I could erase you from my memory, which means you've left an imprint on this person. I bet you've felt like that once or twice, right? I wish I could let go of this person. I wish I could forget about them. I always want to be your reason. You always ask me how you got so lucky, but my love, the lucky one is me. Reason by Hoobastank could be symbolic. Memories about sitting watching a sunset. I wish I could share my life with you again. Missing you, perfect mirror, acceptance. So what this is telling me is that those people look like they're in a stadium, so maybe you have a memory being in a stadium. What this is telling me, twin flames, counterparts, soul connection, whatever it is, you were reflecting something back to them and they weren't ready to face it. Just like what this person was reflecting back to you. If they were neglecting you, if they were mistreating you, it was reflecting back to you that you weren't loving yourself enough, right? I'm not saying it's your fault. Maybe they blamed you. Because whenever I say, I'm not saying it's your fault, I'm not blaming you, I get the energy of this person blamed you. But if someone's, just an example, if someone's neglecting you, mistreating you, and you keep allowing it, it's showing a lack of love for yourself. Right? Because if you truly loved yourself, truly, because sometimes we can be like, oh, I love myself, but we're still working on it, right? If you truly loved yourself, you wouldn't allow it. Do you know what I mean? And that's part of the evolution of the divine feminine. This is supposed to be a channeled reading. Oh my gosh. I said to someone, this is how I started to really focus on self-love. I would picture how someone was treating me, right? I would picture my child being treated that way because I struggled with self-love my entire life, but I had this immense love for my children. Like, I couldn't stand up for myself, but whoa, buddy, if somebody hurt my child, Mama Bear came out, right? Like, step into action, defend your child, right? Mama Bear. So I started thinking about my kids because I was lacking that self-love. So if somebody was mistreating me, I would say to myself, if they were treating my kid that way, what would I do? What would I do if they were treating my kid that way? If I had like negative self-talk and I was calling myself delusional, I'd think about like, How would I feel if that was my kid and they were being mean to themselves? Do you understand? And again, I honestly believe that divine feminines, by chasing, and I know some people don't like that word, it's just a way to describe the energy, right? By waiting, by chasing, by begging, by putting up with less than you deserve. That's how you tell the world that's what you're willing to accept, right? So if you keep accepting that kind of behavior, you're going to keep attracting that behavior, hoping that the other person will change, when really the change starts with you by not accepting it anymore. Anyway, oh my goodness. I wonder if you think of me too. When I see you look at something a little longer than others, I wonder if you want it. What? If I should get it for you, or if it would make you happy. That is not what I thought that card was going to say. So when this person, maybe you went shopping with them, when they saw you looking at something longer than other things, that's interesting. Maybe they wondered if you wanted it or if they should buy it for you, there's a lesson in this one. There's a lesson in this one. Important one, very specific. How do you feel about buying presents for other people, right? Are you the type of person who remembers the little things about people? Oh, I know that person likes frogs. I know that person likes the color yellow and likes pineapples. I'm talking about my kids. I know that person likes elephants. How often do you put a lot of effort with this person even? How much effort did you put in to giving them a gift? Or do you put effort into giving other people gifts? If you, like, for example, if you know somebody who's obsessed with pineapples, my kid, when you see something pineapple, do you pick it up? Right? Like for me, my sister likes hippos. So every time, hippos aren't that common. So every time I see something that's a hippo, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get it for my sister. Is that what you're like? Because there's a lesson in that. You give so easily to others. Spirit, come on now. I'm going to put my boundary up with you, Spirit, in a minute. But there's a lesson in it. You treat everybody else so nicely. You would defend anybody else. If anybody else was in your situation, you would tell them, you deserve more. So why is it different for you? Very specific message coming through for Spirit. But Spirit, I just want to remind you that we're not here for this feels a lot about self-love, and that's not what this reading is supposed to be about. All right. I also think that what I immediately thought this card was going to say is this person sees things that remind them of you. Sorry. I'm not sorry. I don't have to apologize. Healing an over-apologizing wound. It's almost like this person... Now I'm hearing another song. The songs that I hear are symbolic, okay? So it might be worth listening. I'm going to have to go figure out what this song is that I'm hearing. But I feel like when they see couples, when they see whatever your favorite color was, when they see a number that reminds them of you, when they see, maybe you're, someone who likes magical things and you love when you see rainbows and stuff like that. I think that they look at things and they think of you. I really do have to go look up that song. Last message. I said I was going to get one. You are my everything. That's the secret, right? You are my good vibes. You are the butterflies in my stomach. You are the person that when I think about you, I smile. You are the feeling of total happiness. You are the warm feeling of being loved. You are the sunshine that breaks through the clouds on a rainy day. You are the reason. Hoobastank, the reason. I found a reason for me to change who I used to be. A reason to start over new, and that reason is you. You are the reason why my life feels so complete. You are my everything. And to someone who has a fear of intimacy, to someone who has a mother wound, right? Who's never experienced that, that can be very confronting. I'm sorry, there's 2 more. I'm not sorry. I wish I had another chance. So many different chances, and I've botched them all. Bocce ball? This person is definitely in their feelings. What's going on here? I remember every detail of that day. Beautiful moments. You know what that day is. 555 on the timer. Positive changes. Last one. Do you think about me as much as I think about you? I wish you were here next to me. I listened to the music you sent me. Are you going crazy thinking about me too? I'm going crazy, crazy, crazy just thinking about you, baby. Casey and JoJo? Is that the one? Anyway, now I have to go find that other song that I was thinking of. I love my brain. All right, I had to go find it. It's called Do You Feel the Same by Emmett Fenn. Thank you, bestie, for sending me this song. Happy Valentine's Day, bestie. You know who you are. Lyrics, I'm going to read them to you in case you don't listen to it. I saw a hummingbird and it said hi. It danced in circles around the window light, and I thought of you, I thought of you. I felt the rain fall on my face. You know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing a lot of symbolism in these cards I just pulled, because there was one where it was raining. I felt the rain fall on my face, running rivers down the interstate, and I thought of you, I thought of you, I thought of you. I thought of you, like repetitive, thinking about you. I heard the flowers bloom in Paris now, and all the butterflies dance for the crowds, and I thought of you, I thought of you. And there's a couple dancing in the park, and for a moment they forget where they are, and I thought of you, I thought of you. Sunset skies on an endless day. When you hold me tight, it all feels the same, feels the same, feels the same. The world stops spinning every time you stay. Now I can't stop thinking, do you feel the same, feel the same, feel the same? And then the other one just repeats that verse. Go listen to it. It's a really good song. All right. Definitely music is symbolic. So maybe, if you have like songs that remind you of this person, not that I want to trigger you, but that can be a way to, you know what? I'm not even going to say that part. If you, I use Spotify, so I don't know if there's another, I'm so out of touch. Apple Music. Anyway, go to a random playlist, and the name Joanne could be symbolic. Somebody just messaged me that I haven't spoken to in years. Weird. What was I saying? Whatever music platform, whatever, wherever you listen to music. If you have like a playlist, right? Like a long playlist. Do you guys organize your playlists? I have a hard time with that sometimes. Usually it's like just one long mess. I was thinking about it when I was looking through my music. I went to liked songs because I knew I liked the song on Spotify. And scrolling through my songs, you can see like where I was in my life when I added these songs. Like you can see like heartbreak songs, empowerment songs, anyway, kid songs when my kids were younger. But go to a random playlist and hit shuffle. Like ask Spirit, send me a song from my person and do a random shuffle. Or you can go on your playlist and just hit like next, like a random amount of times and see what song you end up on. All right, let's see how this person is feeling about you. Do I want to get these now? Yes, I do. How is this person currently feeling about you? Running. Okay. Oh. So, I know, like, look, we have running. So this person clearly ran from your love, could have ghosted you, could have disappeared into the night, right? Disappeared. Maybe after you put up boundaries. Maybe after you phoenixed, right? But it feels like they just kind of went ghost. Maybe they think you're running now, right? What they don't realize is that you're not running. You're focusing on yourself. We have sorrow, loss, grief, depression. We have only you, craving you. They could be watching you. There's a child outside screaming, not in pain. Longing, craving, aching, wanting. Are you ever on their mind today? Like, look at all the cards. There's so many different cards that were in that unsent letters. And it's all like, do you think of me? I think of you. I miss you. You gave me so many chances. And now we're getting, like, there's so many cards in this deck. And we're getting longing, only you, sorrow, confessions, secret, candle, the flame. Can't stop this flame, Celeste. Perhaps they were keeping secrets from you. Maybe you saw through them. There is something they want to confess to you here. Secrets coming out twice. This is how they feel about you. Releasing. They feel like you're releasing them. They feel like you're focused on your healing. That's good. They feel like you're better off without them. But what's interesting is that also says clearer headspace, right? New perspective. King of Swords. So they are seeing a new perspective of this. Fantasy. Fantasy, Mariah Carey could be symbolic. Daydreaming, imagining, fantasizing about you, about a new beginning. Wanting to try again after they've botched it. Remember that card? Emotional storm. Very much in their emotions right now. Purple roses, red roses. There could be a memory with those. Oh, we even have... No, just purple and red. Just a few more. June 12th could be symbolic. Oh my goodness. One more. Oh my goodness. They've hit their breaking point. Look at these cards. Listen, out of all the cards in this deck, I'm going to show you some of them in a minute. We're getting all the longing ones, all the missing you ones, all the reminiscing ones. Memories, reminiscing, dwelling, bittersweet. Hoping. Hoping came out in that first deck. Hoping that you'll give them another chance. Return, second chance, opportunity, wanting to make amends. Maybe you have a memory in the rain. Why did I hear that song? I just started hearing Kissed by a Rose by Seal. Is that right? Thinking, missing you, craving, desiring. They feel like you're releasing them. Detachment. So as long as you are in that longing energy, like I said, they can still feel it energetically, not consciously. But like, look at all these cards that we have that are like that. Again, I just read them all. They're all like very Six of Cups energy. We also have breaking point. So they've hit their breaking point, which brings clarity. Now, my point is, look at all those cards and then listen to these ones. Oh, we have divine masculine and distance. But we have, in this deck, all of the nostalgic ones came out. We have intuition, silence, open heart, clarity, rejection, escaping, clinging, divine feminine, foundation, boundaries, trapped, exhaustion. Like, do you know what I mean? Like all of the ones about Missing you came out. So I feel like, again, it's important to get out of that longing energy. All right, tarot. So I was going to use the Light Seers Tarot. And then at the last moment, Spirit told me to use the Broken Heart Tarot, which would mean they're feeling you right now, that heartbroken card. And if you're dealing with a runner or someone who's avoidant or someone who's that type of energy, has that wound, they can avoid feeling, suppressing emotions. They can avoid feeling this for a long time. Especially if your counterparts, like energetically, it kind of takes you getting out of that longing state for them to finally feel it energetically. All right. And can I just be clear? I am not shaming you if you're still longing for your person. Healing takes time. September 24th could be symbolic, these random numbers. So we have the 5 of Wands. Look at all those towers. So it feels like there was a lot of conflict, a lot of arguments. This person could be struggling with a lot of inner conflict right now. They could have created a lot of blockages here. One more shuffle. Actually, we have a card upright. What is it? 5 of Cups. Four-leaf clover could be an important synchronicity here. Or maybe you met serendipitously. It's 143. Message of I love you. I do love you. Unexpected sorrow. So this could have just unexpectedly come over them. This is 5 months. So maybe it's been like 5 months since... Whoa, the music is insane. I just heard Sinead O'Connor. Nothing compares to you. That's what I always say about the Empress. Nothing compares to the Empress. So maybe it's been like a long time and they were able to distract themselves, suppress those feelings. But you know what's funny? When you suppress those feelings, they don't go away. They grow bigger and stronger and then explode at some point, right? They come back up to the surface. The sharks could be symbolic. But unexpected sorrow. So it almost, and this talks about making a decision. So it feels like they suddenly, that's a bluebird. Bluebirds could be symbolic. That's also about communication, blue, throat chakra. But it feels like they unexpectedly feel like this has hit them like a ton of bricks. Unexpectedly. This longing, right? All that longing energy we were getting. And it says there's a decision that they need to make. Interesting. All right, let's get back into it. All right, one more shuffle. Nine of Pentacles. It takes me a minute to figure out what the number is. It's Roman numerals. 9 of Pentacles. You could be, ears are ringing. You could be attracting a lot of attention right now. Very independent, right? Realizing that everything you need is inside of you, not outside of you. Stepping into your higher self. You could be really intuitive with that owl. You could be told you have you're an old soul or a wise soul. All right, I'm going to cut it like this today. Cut. The Lovers. No shit, Sherlock, is what I just heard. The Devil. Oh, buddy. The movie The Shining could be symbolic. You're about to see why. Okay. When the Lovers and the Devil comes out together, they're right here together. Okay? Look at that. That's why I said The Shining. It's also like twin, right? Twin souls, I'm hearing. But when the lovers come out together, that is one intense connection. Very intense. Triggers codependency, triggers unhealed wounds, triggers shadows, right? But energetically, it's a very intense bond. So that it's like this magnetic pull. It's, intense, very intense. Gemini and Capricorn. We also have Sagittarius on the bottom. So I feel like they find this connection very intense and they ran. I think you found it very intense. That's why it's hard for the divine feminine to let go, right? To stop longing. This could have triggered, like I said, a lot of unhealed wounds, codependencies. This person could be obsessing about you right now. And the thing that I find really beautiful about this Lovers card is I always talk about, we have Temperance on the bottom, right? So before I get to that one, Temperance is about, it's about the balancing of energy, balancing divine feminine, divine masculine energy within, the two of you needing to balance your energies. It's about patience. It's a long journey. There could have been an imbalance of energy, right? But I always talk about the Lovers card, right? And this says unity awaits you at the crossroads, come together. And they had that 5 of Cups, needing to make a choice. But to me, this card, like to me, the Lovers is not just about, I always talk about this, it's not just about the bond you feel with someone else. It's about you. It's about a connection that triggers the unhealed part of you and you working on your self-love. This used to be called the choice. So the Lovers, a lot of people think, oh, Lovers energy, so nice. But a lot of people will not pursue the Lovers energy because it can be triggering, because it can be intense, because it's meant to teach you something about yourself. Phoenix energy is coming on right now. So clearly this connection caused you to Phoenix. And I've never seen this in a Lover. Well, no, that's not true. In one of the ones I have from Oak, Ash, and Thorn Tarot, there's 2 Lover cards in the deck. One of them is foxes, I think, in a painting. And then the other Lovers card is, look at the Phoenix energy, is a mouse looking at its reflection, which I love because it's a good depiction of how these types of connections that are not easy, that some people are like, oh, that's not easy, that must not be love, right? Conditioned thinking. They trigger self-growth within. And in this image, the way I see this image is, I'm pretty sure the Empress card has some kind of flower on her head. And I see this as like the older version of you, the unhealed version of you, because of this connection coming face to face with your higher self, right? Very beautiful. This one is sitting, right? Very like bleak clothing, very protected. Like if you look at the clothing, comes right up to her neck, right? Protection. Right underneath the moon, divine feminine. And then in this one, this energy is more open, more uncovered. There's like this flower. Spirit, I don't care. I'll talk about it. So before you come into union with this person, you come into union with yourself. And it's interesting because this one talks about being at a crossroads. Unity awaits at the crossroads, come together. And I don't see this as you and this person. I see this as you. When you are at that crossroads and you come into inner union with yourself, that's what makes union with a counterpart possible. You can't get there without coming into inner union with yourself. All right, I'm going to get back to this person. You know what? I hope I hope a lot of like the energy that's coming out is kind of the energy I wanted to come out in that other reading about you. But anyway, I think it's good that it's coming out in this one for people who are only interested in hearing messages from their person, because now you're getting the self-love message from me. All right. So, I already shuffled, didn't I? So you've got the Lovers, Devil, and Temperance, which is like so counterparty. It's anything but a party. All right. So let's see what this person's energy is right now. All right. We've got the Hanged Man. So tap into new perspectives, life on hold. So right now their life is on hold until they gain new perspectives. So probably they're not doing that great. There's probably a lot of blockages in their life, right? They're really being called to go within here for new perspectives, not just about you, but about self. We actually had that energy coming out, right? The King of Swords, the new perspective. So they're looking at things differently. Maybe this person was really stuck in their perspective, right? It's my way or the highway. Maybe they couldn't see your side, right? Pisces energy. That's good. We have Prince of Pentacles. That's the Knight of Pentacles, which came out. See, do you see the magic? That's magic because that Knight of Pentacles came out of that random deck. So they're actually in Knight of Pentacles. And this is like an immature Emperor. If the Emperor card comes out, you're going to see exactly what I mean. If the Emperor card comes out, you're going to see what I mean. Because the Emperor looks very similar to this. It says, discipline builds a solid foundation. So right now there's like a pentacle, there's growth in their energy. A pentacle has been planted. They're starting on, the growth journey. There's the start of a foundation in their energy. So that's good. We have the Seven of Cups. Feeling very feeling very confused. This feeling very weighed down. Like, I know you can't maybe see this very well, but it's almost like this person is stuck at the bottom of the ocean with a weight attached to them. So with the Devil card, right, they could be seeing things from a very... Bill could be symbolic, the name Morris. Who the hell are you and why are you messaging me? It's none of you. Like, it's not through email, it's through Messenger. Like, weird. Get away from me. But with that Lovers and Devil energy, it's almost like you are at like the crossroads of inner union is what I'm hearing. And they're kind of like getting out of that Devil energy that's weighing them down in lower vibrational energy. So they weren't seeing things clearly. It says illusion obscures reality. Hanged Man energy. That's why they're in Hanged Man energy, because they weren't looking at this like... They were looking at it in a very distorted way from their ego, from a place of wounding, maybe mother wounding, right? So Spirit, like they're in Hanged Man energy, a pentacle is being planted so that they can start to see this clearly. Again, it reminds me of that Seven of Swords card, that they were deceiving themselves by not seeing their own illusion, or like that their perception was off. But the universe knows. That's what that Seven of Swords, the universe saw the deception. And we have the Magician. So that's really good. Starting to work on their elements. Could be thinking about communication with the Magician. And we have the Tower. What did I say? That's what's going on in their life right now. I said, I think their life on hold, the Hanged Man. So it feels like there's a lot of Tower energy with like... The Tower is meant to redirect you, right? So when towers start happening, it's kind of the universe saying you're going the wrong way. It's time to redirect yourself. If a job feels like it's not aligned with you and you hate it, if a friendship is like not working for you, if those Tower moments, like even your house falling apart, it's kind of like the universe saying you're going the wrong way. And that's what's happening to them right now. A lot of it, like, there's a lot of revelations, because look at this image. So there's a lot of revelations they're having right now. And it says, radical changes come with new opportunities. Hang in there. Very powerful energy they're in. All right, let's see how they're feeling about you. How are they feeling about you? Wow. 9 of Wands. A love that's not easy. A love that's very challenging, right? And conditioning will tell us that must not be love, right? Love is supposed to be easy. This is how they're feeling about you. They could feel like you're quite guarded right now with the 9 of Wands. Perseverance during a hard time resolves doubts, so they're trying to persevere here. 5 of Pentacles, so they're feeling very left out in the cold, missing your energy. But it says that's the thing about the 5 of Pentacles, right? I learned from the Light Seers Tarot, which is the one I was going to use. And the 5 of Pentacles shows someone who feels rejected, who feels left out in the cold, who feels stuck. And there's a door with a keyhole, and they feel like I can't get out or I can't get in. And there's a light shining on the key. It's like you have the key. You have the key to get out or in that door. You're just not seeing it. And that's what this says. The door is always open, and the isolation to see what is beyond. So in some ways, they feel like the door has been shut. But the door is actually open, is what Spirit's saying. Like, it's just in their mind they feel, it's like their fear, right? Their shadows, they feel like the door is shut. Interesting. So for how they feel about you, I almost got Empress energy out of this. The Fool, wanting a new beginning. Everything is not always as it seems, right? So they feel like there's no way back here. They feel like left out in the cold, that the door is shut. But this is saying a new beginning is possible. Everything is not always as it seems. And again, if you're sitting there saying, no way, there's no possible way, that door is shut, why are you watching? All right, so how they feel about you, look. The Devil and Temperance. They see you as their twin, right? But they're obsessing about you right now. I think that you triggered a lot of their shadows. You know, maybe they were very toxic to you or unhealthy to you when that tower fell, and that's why they feel the door is shut, the bridge is burned. And Temperance, divine intervention sets the equilibrium you need. This is about like this person, you were probably really patient, but this is also about them, you know, wanting to bring this back into balance. They could be re-examining the priorities they've chosen with that Devil card. Like maybe they prioritized alcohol, maybe they prioritized friends, family, a karmic. All right, let's get a few more. How are they feeling about you? The Hermit. So they feel like you've withdrawn, but they're doing a lot of self-reflection right now. Like, these are some powerful cards coming out. Like Hanged Man, Devil, Magician, the Hermit. You know, that's Temperance. So for right now, their inner voice is telling them something about you. You could resonate with like, you could, you know, your light could have affected them, right? They could see you as their shining light. But anyway, this person very heavily thinking about you right now. They feel you're withdrawn. 747. Go look up that angel number. 747. Specifically twin flame. 747 twin flame meaning. 2 of Wands. Wanting a partnership. A renewal, the Peacock. So right now, they're very withdrawn, and there's a fear of coming towards you, Two of Wands, for a partnership. This is like out of their comfort zone right now. They could also be feeling like they need to look at the patterns that have kept them stuck from having love in their life. We have Nine of Swords, irrational fears. What is that? Irrational fears, Nine of Swords, ruminating, anxiety, sleepless nights, overthinking about you, imagining the worst, right? Their anxiety is not doing them any favors right now. We have, interesting, we have Three of Swords. Open wounds are about to be healed. What did I say? I said that this person probably wasn't, February 2nd could be symbolic. I was saying this person probably hasn't allowed themselves to feel it. And now all of these, again, they shoved it down, became bigger, stuck a Band-Aid on their wounds. They're not healing. Open wounds. Open wounds are about to be healed. Three of Swords. So they're feeling pain. They're feeling separation. Aren't these cards gorgeous? I just love them. And we have Six of Swords. So remember, the Five of Pentacles had the person sitting on the outside of the cage and the bird was up on top. I'm hearing a song, hang on. It's from Now and Then. You know what movie I'm talking about? No matter what you are, I will always be with you. No matter what you do, girl, ooh, girl, it's you. Knock on the old something, 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 something. Nothing to say, nothing to do, nothing to... Is that the same song as Knock 3 Times on the Ceiling If You Want Me, that song? Or is that a different song? They're both in that movie. I'm hearing both of them for some reason. Six of Swords. Embrace the rite of passage with peaceful resolutions. So this person, Six of Swords, wants a peaceful resolution with you. Wants to reconnect with you. But right now, the Devil, Three of Swords, Nine of Swords, there's no way, the Two of Wands, no way they have the courage to come towards you right now. And that's for the best, because if they came towards you in that energy, they would just self-sabotage it, right? So you're safer. You're safer right now hearing a message from me. Let's see. I mean, I can see where they are on their healing journey, but I'm going to check again. For all of you, I have some readings that I was supposed to have back the second week of February. And people who booked for February, I'm fully booked until April. I'm like a week behind in my readings because of that relapse I had. I couldn't get out of bed. Like, it was awful and I was depressed about it. And then what happens is when I go to do a reading, I do this in my readings. They're like super in depth, and like I did one yesterday that was like 2 hours. Anyway, so just know your patience is being rewarded, because they're very in depth. Okay. So thank you for your patience. But anyway, where was I? Where are they on their healing journey? Where are they on their healing journey? Ooh, what's that? Is that the star? Oh, no, it's not. Let's get another one. Okay, we've got the Page of Swords. Page of Swords. So they're not there yet. Page, not there yet. So they're learning something. They're getting, look, we have a giraffe. So what's happening right now for them is they're getting a new perspective of this. They're seeing things more clearly, because you can see, like, anybody who's down here wouldn't be able to see things clearly. The giraffe is representative of, or symbolic of, seeing the bigger picture, gaining a new perspective, a higher perspective, watching you. But they're learning about themselves right now. They could be getting professional help about a decision, because the Page of Swords is about, you have a decision you need to make, and you need to get a professional consultation to help you with this decision. So they could actually be getting help from someone, a professional, not a friend, a professional. And, you know, maybe the amount of, like, reflection and energy we're seeing here, I wouldn't be surprised if they're, even if it's just like watching YouTube videos about being an avoidant, right? We have the 10 of Wands right now. So they have hit their breaking point. So the 10 of Wands is like, you know, it's the universe putting tower after tower after tower after tower, like burden after burden after burden after burden on top of you until you break, right? Until you hit your breaking point. Release excessive responsibilities. Reunite with what truly matters. You. So it may not look to you like there's progress being made, but there's a lot of progress being made in their energy. This can also be symbolic. These two cards can be symbolic of someone getting help with, like, their wounding, all the baggage they've carried from childhood, right? I often talk about how baggage, trauma, it's like, imagine you carrying around like 10 suitcases. That's what it's like when you have all that trauma. That's what keeps you, like, in lower vibrational energy. And we have the 2 of Swords. Liberate your perceptions. Fear not the unknown at the crossing. Remember, they're in their head right now. So they do feel like they need to make a decision. I wonder if your higher selves are in cahoots here. Crows could be a meaningful sign for you. I did hear Mr. Crow at the start of this reading. But the 2 of Wands is like going within. So right now, on their healing journey, things have become stuck. Things have become stagnant. There's tower moments. This is a call to go within. To, like, again, they have a lot of fear here. That's a call to go within and reconnect with their intuition. Let's see what's... Justice just came off the top there. Mr. Crow. So they could be getting some sort of karma for the way they treated you, which is teaching them a lesson. They're definitely working on balance. Especially if they're getting a new perspective. They're finally not in denial, right? They're not in denial anymore. Feeling like they need to take accountability. All right, what's blocking them? It's funny, I said that this, I didn't think this reading was going to be long. What is this? This is 4 of Swords. So what's blocking them? They need more time. They still have healing to do, clarity to come, right? They're just starting to gain clarity. So again, it's a good thing they're not talking to you. We have the 5 of Pentacles, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment wound. I'm not going to read it, but if you go to my playlist and go into the wound one, there's one called abandonment, attachment, codependency. It would give you an insight to this person, okay? So right now, that's what's blocking them, is that they feel they don't know how to open this door. There's a fear of you rejecting them. They're dealing with a fear of abandonment. So someone with a fear of abandonment will sabotage connections, or they'll run away from connections before that person can break up with them or whatever. Page of Pentacles in reverse as a blockage. So they've been procrastinating. They also see this as a missed opportunity. Bark, 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 bark. They see this as a missed opportunity. August 14th could be symbolic. February 11th, November 2nd, December 2nd. What's blocking them? Like the dogs barking, their anxiety, overthinking. All right. I'm not going to look at action. I'm not going to look at action, but I am going to look at what their intentions are. You know, because they're daydreaming about you. So what are they imagining for the future? Like if they could get past their anxiety, right? What are they thinking about when it comes to the future? Oh my. The Chariot. Move forward with determination. So when they think about the future, they think about taking action towards you. They think about putting in more effort, traveling towards you, especially if you're at a distance. 6 of Wands. They imagine feeling seen by you, feeling loved by you. I want to be loved by you. Some Like It Hot. Very old movie. Amazing movie. Marilyn Monroe. I want to be loved by you and you. Nobody else but you. 6 of Wands. Success, triumph, victory, public commitment. Like they want to be seen with you. They want to announce to the world that you're together. Public declaration of love. Sometimes you see marriage on the 6 of Wands. 4 of fucking Wands. Your journey to homecoming. The 4 of Wands. Union, marriage, coming home, returning home, happiness. The Chariot, the 6 of Wands, and the 4 of Wands. What do they want you to know from Tarot? What message from Tarot? What message do they have from Tarot? Channeled message through Tarot. We have Justice. Channeled message. They know they owe you accountability. They know they owe you an apology, accountability. They're seeing the truth of this situation. That's what they want you to know. They want to make things right. Justice. We have the Princess of Swords. Like, they want you to know they're watching you. They want you to know they could be seeking professional help, that they're learning, and that there is progress being made. There's a completion coming in their energy, 10 of Wands. Relief is on the way. Relief is on the way, dearie, Mrs. Doubtfire. The Lovers. They want to come together with you. They've never felt this way about anyone. Your love is teaching them something about themselves. Remember everything I said to you. They've never felt a bond like this. They still feel your energy. King of Wands. I just heard I'm sorry for being selfish. King of Wands. They know they need to take control of this. They know they need to come in with bold action. They definitely feel, if they don't know what it is, I would call it a spiritual connection with you. With the Lovers and the King of Wands, there's definitely like a magnetic attraction, very sexual attraction. But they know they need to take control of this situation, that it's up to them. All right. I want you by my side. So I'm not going to show you these because you can't see them anyway. I'm just going to read them to you. And this one's more lighthearted. Because I hope you're watching this with more of a compassionate energy, not a resentful energy. But again, whatever you need to feel right now is valid. What does this person want to say to you? I'm just going to go once through the deck and see what comes out. Lots on their mind. Holy. You are so precious to me. I just started hearing, is it Joe Cocker? You are so beautiful to me. February 17th could be symbolic. These random dates. Yesterday in a reading, I was like, out of all the days and dates in the year, I was like, May 15th could be symbolic. That was May 15th could be symbolic. You are a diamond of immense strength and beauty. I am electrified by you, King of Wands, Lovers. I worship your perfection. So you know what? It feels like they have you up on a pedestal. And when somebody has you up on a pedestal, it actually can affect their self-esteem, where they don't feel worthy of you. And you know what? Nobody's perfect, right? No, there's not one perfect person in this world. Show me one. Show me them. I wasn't ready for commitment with anyone. And I already heard somebody say it. Then why did they commit to this other person? Watch that abandonment wound. Watch it. The attachment wound. Because one of the ways that affects someone is they unconsciously choose surface level connections that feel safe, where they wouldn't feel hurt if it was to end suddenly, where they don't have to be intimate, where they don't feel attached. Again, they wouldn't care if that person left. So they unconsciously seek out surface level connections or like intellectual connections. I'm not talking about being asexual. I find everything about you so pleasurable and irresistible. The fire, right? Red, King of Wands, the Lovers. I am drawn to your deep intelligence and wisdom. Remember I said you could be an old soul. So, you know, King of Swords, you could be dealing with someone who's like very intellectually smart, like with numbers and books, book smart. And you could be life smart. You could be spiritually smart. You could be healing smart. I'm seeing the Queen of Cups. Like when it comes to like emotional maturity, you could be very wise, right? As divine feminines often are. I tried to stop these feelings. That's a song. Can't stop this feeling inside my bones. Justin Timberlake from Trolls. I tried to stop these feelings, but now you are burning hotter and brighter than ever within me. So that fire, look, I haven't had it since, right? So whatever that heat I was feeling, it wasn't just Phoenix energy. It wasn't just Phoenix energy. You are my destiny. Everything you've ever said to me, I've taken to heart, even though it probably triggered them, even though they probably, with the illusion thing, they didn't believe you, or they were like, no, it's your fault. Now, all the things you said, running through my head, the Nine of Swords. I was not looking for something like this. Twin flame connections. They're never really looking for something like this, you know? In all of the readings I do, all of the energy I channel, that's the thing that people say the most is, I wasn't even looking for love. I can't bring myself to open up and let you in. Avoidance. Watch that wound thing. It'll make you understand. Instead of villainizing someone for it, right? Instead of hating and resenting someone for it, think of like the way that I like to think about it. And again, compassion for people like that comes from, that's divine feminine energy, right? So if you're still very resentful towards them, That's distorted energy. And again, it doesn't mean what they did was okay. Low battery. Okay, go away. Hang on. It's 2:22. It's normal to go through a period of resentment and feeling hurt, right? Like, why did you do this to me? But if you hold on to that forever, you become bitter, right? And we see it in comment sections all the time, like really bitter people. Just full of anger, right? Like, I have people in my family like that. That'll be like that till the end of their time. But again, it's so common to villainize people for these things, right? And if you put up with less than you deserve and you chase this person for a while, would you want to be villainized for it? Because it was coming from a fear of abandonment, a codependency, an attachment wound. So why are we villainizing the other people? And having compassion for them doesn't mean that what they did was okay. It doesn't mean that you have to be with them or ever accept that behavior from them or anyone else again. But for me, I kind of see people like that, almost like I feel compassion and almost sadness for them, because it's like they're a wounded animal stuck in a trap with a trap on their leg, in pain, howling. Or if it helps, the same way I try and envision my kids, like, would I allow someone to treat my kids like this? Sometimes I think of like my inner child, right? I imagine that wounded little inner child to show compassion to myself for some of like my wounds or my mistakes. So if it helps you, like, instead of imagining them as, here comes the Phoenix energy, so maybe this is something you need to work on. It's something that I continue to work on. What was I going to say? Instead of imagining the version of them that hurt you, imagine a very wounded little child version of them, because that's where it's coming from. It's coming from what they went through as a child, how their parents treated them. And they're not treating you that way because of your worth. They're treating you that way because of how they were treated as a child and probably didn't have a very happy experience, Anyway, that's how I try and have compassion for people. Peacock. Acceptance of the self and others, shadows and all. Doesn't mean that they have to be in your life, though. Thank you for sharing your beautiful presence in my life. I second that. Thank you for sharing your beautiful presence in my life. They probably didn't appreciate it when they had the chance. So when I was talking about that, I'm getting Phoenix energy, which means some of you maybe have already phoenixed out of that resentment. Maybe some of you still need to shift through it, because maybe you've been burned so many times by people, right? Maybe you kept attracting in the same type of energy, that avoidant energy. Again, the energy that we attract in is trying to teach us a lesson about something we need to heal within. Our love can power galaxies. I am taking my time. We have all the time in the world. And I can hear your egos. I can hear some of you like, no, we don't. No, we don't. But the fact that this person is taking their time is a good sign, because you want, like, if you do want this person back, you want healing. I can't face you right now. The intensity between us scares me. I told you. I miss your sunshine in my life so much. And I'm not saying that you have like a sun on your head, but it's your presence, it's your light, it's that divine energy. You are my star who outshines all others. Now I'm hearing a lot of old movies. Now I'm seeing Singing in the Rain. You are my lucky star, I've loved you from afar. I desire you deeply and internally. Ooh. I know that the fire that burns in you is the same that burns in me. I've had sleepless nights caught between confusion and pain. Can you handle all my scars? My entire being and body is attracted to you. I told you. Don't think I don't care about you, because I really do. I find you in music. That's why all this music is coming through. That's interesting. You are worth fighting for. And that means battling their own inner demons. I love you. I hate you. I can't live without you. There could have been a push-pull dynamic. Like, this person could have felt this intense love for you, but at the same time, you could have really triggered them, right? You are my secret passion, the secret and the candle. Now I'm hearing the theme song to Passions. You are my passion for life. Love isn't always on time. Please be patient with me. Remember, divine timing differs from our ego's timing. Your beauty cascades over me. All right, I'm leaving it here. What a short reading. That was so short. Anyway, I kind of like that Spirit had a lot of messages for you. 555 positive change. February 28th could be symbolic. I'm going to go do the self-love reading now. Hope to see you there. I love you, my friends. Bye. Happy Valentine's Day. Buy something for yourself. Be your own Valentine. Do something nice for yourself. Take a bubble bath. If you drink, you can have a glass of wine, although you don't need my permission. Have a cookie. Have some chocolate. Do something that feeds your soul, right? Not just housework, not just working, not just longing for this person. Be your own love today. Bye.